You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports Porters. Well, my goodness, this is going to piss a lot of folks off. That's too bad. The fact is the NFL has decided to take an axe to one of their biggest DEI programs that they have, which is the NFL's Accelerator program, which was out there to try to prop up minorities versus people that's not minorities to become head coaches. It should be noted, I have a perfect example before we jump into this story of what a DEI hire looks like versus one that's not, and both of these guys are black. Jerod Mayo received the New England Patriots coaching job. Okay? There was no interview process for Robert Kraft. He was promised the job. He got the job after several years as an inside linebackers coach and a linebackers coach. Under Bill Belichick, he was not qualified to hold this job. Robert Kraft quickly realized this after giving it to him because he got the job because Robert Kraft got warm and fuzzy feelings while on vacation with Jerod Mayo. He gave Jerod Mayo the job without an interview process. Jerod Mayo has since been fired and Mike Vrabel's been hired. It was a disaster. 4-13. Aaron Glenn, not a DEI hire. 13 years of coaching. All right, including under Dan Campbell and under Sean Payton. And by the way, he played for Bill Parcells, one of the greatest minds in the history of football. 13 years, you see, of him working himself up the food chain. 4 years as secondary coach and then 4 years as a defensive coordinator. Now, we don't know how well he's going to be as a head coach, but he had paid his dues. And if the Jets hadn't hired him, very good chance the Saints would have hired Aaron Glenn. All right? DEI hire, Jerod Mayo. Not a DEI hire in Aaron Glenn. That's how you can spot the difference. So, let's go over to this story. This is going to make the wokes real mad. Just in, the NFL statement on league canceling the May 2025 coaching accelerator for diverse candidates with commitment to hold the next one next year. They're claiming it will come back next year. A lot of people don't believe that. A lot of people also believe this has something to do with Roger Goodell and the NFL and Josh Harris of the Washington Redskins being up with President Trump involving the draft last week. Trump probably told Goodell, you better end this shit or it's going to get ugly. We believe diversity of thought and background is essential to our success. It's reflected in our policies, programs, partnerships that help attract, develop, and retain top talent at every level on and off the field. We executed a number of programs, including General Manager Accelerator, a December league meeting in Dallas, 3-day candidate development program at the Combine, and the 9th annual Women's Forum, good God, where 40 women advance career opportunities in football. Every offseason, we take a step back to reflect on the positive and areas for improvement for our programs and assess ways to make them more impactful. This year, we assessed and identified additional opportunities with the Accelerator, including combining the coaching and front office programs to ensure the Accelerator continues to be impactful. All right? They go on to say they claim that it'll come back next year. Okay, we'll see. So, Jonathan Jones at CBS Sports put up an article. At the May 2024 league meetings, team owners heard from league office executives about how to handle the upcoming political season and landscape. The NFL views itself as a great convening force in the nation. The message was to be intentional about whatever messaging teams and ownership put out there. One source who was in the room for the presentation told CBS Sports then, quote, "We don't want to be used as a political football, pun intended. But last week, Goodell stood in the Oval Office beside Trump and Redskins owner Josh Harris as Trump announced that the Washington, D.C. would host the 2027 NFL Draft. Trump was presented with a Commanders, Redskins, number 47 jersey and a football that read, in recognition of President Donald J. Trump bringing the 2027 NFL Draft to the nation's capital." By the way, that was met with unbelievable positivity. Seriously. There it said on the Resolute desk, a literal political football. But the idea to tinker with the Accelerator program was in the works well before the White House visit, supposedly. All right? And he goes on, this guy is triggered. Its timing stinks for the National Football League. Okay. If you say so, this is exactly what should have happened. All right? I mean, seriously, enough is enough. You cannot have an accelerator program that doesn't have, why can't all candidates be in an accelerator program? It doesn't make sense. By the way, the Rooney Rule, it should be abolished. It's a joke. All right? It's even a joke for the minority candidates, although I will say this. The one good thing I will say about the Rooney Rule for all the, they just called them in to fulfill the Rooney Rule. Yeah, but it's still reps trying to hone your interviewing skills. So while I don't agree with the rule being in existence, I think it's bullshit. These people that complain about getting Rooney Rule interviews should feel good about getting those interviews because it gives them practice for whatever. But nonetheless, those kind of interviews can be whatever team they're already working on, they can figure out a way to hone the interview skills for these coaches that are trying to get jobs, regardless of color, anywhere in the league. I mean, good God, the NFL's done a lot of damage to itself with all these ideals that they've tried to come up with. All right? I mean, there's how many jokes have been made about, oh, good, racism's over because the NFL put it in the end zone. It's just a ridiculous virtue signal that really becomes the butt of jokes. All right? I mean, nobody's taking that crap seriously anyway. But this is gone. A major piece is gone. We'll see if it returns. I kind of suspect that next year we may get an announcement where it doesn't come back. Oh, we're gonna hold off till 2027. My gut feeling is you're gonna hold off and see what's going on in 2028. That's just my wonder. My gut feeling is this program never returns. But that's the best I could do for you. I could literally show you an example of somebody getting a job because of the warm and fuzzies, and then versus somebody getting the job that's actually qualified for it, and they both happen to be black candidates. Aaron Glenn was very qualified to become a head coach. Jerod Mayo, hail to the no. He was a disaster. One of the worst coaching hires in the history of the NFL. Tell me what you think. And by the way, there's plenty of examples of white dudes out there that suck at being coaches too. So it's not a color thing. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.